Hey there, and welcome to Rockwall, Texas Living, the web's biggest blog on the smallest county in Texas. I'm your host, Evan Matteson.
And I'm your co-host, Richard Matteson.
Well, today we're going to talk about a study done by Inman News on renting versus purchasing, and which one's better, and some interesting facts that we found out.
Right. When we think about renting, it used to be the inexpensive way to go. But now it's becoming more and more identical, not yet, but moving that direction to just regular having a monthly payment.
And I would say with things like the $8,000 tax credit for first-time home buyers, and then if you also take into account your interest deduction on your taxes, owning a home can actually be less than renting.
Right. It has a lot of advantages that go on year after year, whereas the advantages for renting don't go on. The payment just goes on.
Yes,
all right?
On and on and on. So in the past, the difference between what it cost monthly to own a home versus what it cost monthly to rent a home was closer on the upper end of $1,000. It was just under that, around $700, $800. In the last couple of years, we've actually seen that difference between renting and owning drop down to, in some markets, $100 to $200. So if you can have the same cash flow going out, maybe a little bit more, $100 or $200 more, but you're actually owning something and your money's going towards principal of an investment in your own property, then it just makes sense to do that.
Right. And those of you who are listening that maybe don't have the best credit score now, or you don't have any money in the bank, listen all the way through, because we're going to talk about all of that at the other end of it.
Yeah, let's dive into those numbers.
Okay, so let's just take two homes in Rockwall. One is being leased, and one is being purchased. Now, the homes are both 3-bedroom, 2-bath. They're 1-story. Just the leased home is about 160 or so square feet larger. 2-car garage. And this one has about 1/4 of an acre, whereas the home for purchase has about ½ an acre. And these are homes that are currently leasing and for sale in the Rockwall area. We can give you the data on that.
Okay.
Now, in order to get into this purchase home, the new guidelines tell us you got to have a 620 credit score.
Right.
Well, there's a lot of people that may not have that, but that can be worked on. I have several clients right now that are working on that. Just called one the other day, and he says, "Yeah, I'm paying off those bills. I'm getting up to date. There were some things on his credit he didn't know about, so we figured all that out, and he's going to be ready in 4 more months to buy his home, because putting a little bit back too. So you need a little cash, and you need a good credit score."
Yeah, the reality of what we see is everybody typically wants to own a home because they don't want to just be throwing their money away. Right. And there's a reason why people rent. It's either because they have lack of information and they don't realize that they can own for the same or less, or they have a credit score that won't allow them to do a loan.
Right, right. So we look at these two homes, one for lease and one for purchase. And let's just play the numbers out a little bit here. And we look at that and see that if I'm going to lease it, this one required $1,295 deposit. And then if you got an animal, which a lot of people do have, a dog or cat or whatever, it's a $500 deposit for that. So basically their deposit was $1,795, and then their first month's down payment, or first month's payment, was $1,295, which brings it to about $3,090 that they put out before they step foot in the house. Okay? And that monthly payment over 12 months is going to be $15,540.
Wow.
Okay, did you hear that toilet flush? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All that money went down the tubes. No availability for that to go on their income tax form. It just disappeared out of their life. All right? So let's look at the other purchasing home. Purchase price, $169. That is actually the mean price all over America right now. Might be a little higher here, but we're just using that mean price. It's a really mean price. Yeah. All right. And then down payment at a FHA mortgage would be 3.5% would be required. So that's $5,915, which leaves Right now, the interest rate's at 5.25, so it leaves us with $163,000 $85 that need to be financed. And closing costs are approximately going to be about 3%, so we put that at $4,893. So monthly payment is going to be about $1,302.
That's $7 difference.
Yeah, $7 difference. Now, and then they get deduction for taxes, deduction for interest, and if they're for the first time home buyer, $8,000 credit, which is really happening all the way until the end of November 30th. Talked to a young couple the other day, just a couple of months married. They were looking for a $100,000 home. 3.5% of that to do FHA is $3,500. 3% closing costs, $3,000. That's $7,500, and they're getting $8,000 tax credit. They get it within 2 months.
Wow.
They just amend their 2008 IRS tax statements, and they get it back in 2 months. So basically, they would have $500 in their pocket after getting in a home. Wow, that's pretty cool, isn't it?
Wow.
All right? So let's go the other way. Let's just say you don't get the $8,000 tax credit. Well, $4,893 and $5,900, so you're talking about $10,500 to get into a home. But 30 years of investment and 30 years of deductions, all of those things help you to make that worthwhile. Mm-hmm. Plus, it just means saying, okay, maybe I can't do that right now, but let me see. Let me put $100, $200, $300, maybe $1,000 a month away if I can.
Right.
And in a year, I can do it.
Yeah. And then you're set up from then on into home ownership, so your money's not going down the toilet.
Right.
It's going back into your own investment.
Right.
And, I mean, it's the safest investment there is in America.
Yeah.
And so
Equity.
We think this makes sense. We think that it's clear that purchasing a home right now in America is the best thing you can do. If you have questions or comments, contact us via the blog. You can either post your comments down below or you can email us.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear from you. And if you have any confusion on this, or you can either play it back and go through each step slow and pause and do that thing, or you can just contact us and we'd love to discuss it with you. So we're learning a little bit more about Rockwall and real estate together every day. We'll see you next time.